You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, high temperatures have had air conditioners running nearly constantly. KOAM's Melissa Alexis shares some tips on how you can help ease the stress that your AC is experiencing.
Also, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly makes a stop in Independence to help celebrate the expansion of its healthcare center.
And we have another alert day today. Dangerous heat continues. Could see heat index values for some of us back up close to 115 degrees. Details in that forecast get you out the door.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. Just after 7 o'clock on this Thursday morning is now the first day of August, and
Yes.
It's been really hot here lately.
It's been hot. It's been feeling like August for a little
sucks.
bit. It does. It really
Just
does.
straight, let's be honest with folks at home.
You heard it here
has
first.
sucked.
It sucks.
The last several days. I know many of you are feeling the same way.
Yes.
Getting a little relief this morning. Might get a little relief over the next couple of days, but it'll be short-lived, unfortunately. And because of all this heat,
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I'm trying not to kill my AC, but I can't help that it knows it's hot.
Nope, exactly. Matter of fact, those high temperatures are putting an extra strain on air conditioning units, and this makes HVAC repair businesses more busy during this time of year.
KOAM's Melissa Alexis went to an AC repair call in Pittsburgh to learn more.
One of those neck wraps that you can wet, just to help make it more bearable.
With the high temperatures, it can be difficult to stay cool. But for the Worsley family, the heat is extra difficult because their air conditioner is broken.
It does feel muggy. It just feels like stale air.
I rode along with the Wallace Heating and Air HVAC professionals who are repairing the Worsley family's AC unit.
Ripping out the old system, putting the new system in.
Chris Wallace says it's important to do maintenance on your AC unit before something breaks.
Preventive measures you could take is taking a hose outside and run it over your condenser and make sure those coils on the outside are clean.
He says AC units, like the one right here, are in overdrive during summer months. And ordering a replacement part can take weeks to come in, leaving families struggling in the heat.
With working from home, it can get tiring. I need to obviously look, decent and, feel comfortable sitting at a desk and being on camera. I'm on Zoom meetings.
Wallace says during summer months, their company sees a huge uptick in AC repair calls. He recommends turning your AC down while away from the home for long periods of time.
The more you kick it off and on, it's like a light switch. You're running its value up and down, and then eventually it's going to go out.
He says yearly maintenance checks are important and could help you avoid a lingering problem that could lead to an even more expensive repair. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Wallace also encourages people to clean their AC filter and change it out when necessary.
Yeah, it's essential to keep up on those
Certainly.
things because, again, with the heat, if your house is hot, no matter what you set the temperature to, even if you turn it up a bit higher, if you're in a home that maybe heats up a lot during the day, that AC is going to be running continuously, even to keep it at a higher temperature. So you got to keep an eye on it. Just do what you can to help it out without putting yourself at risk.
Absolutely important.
And we unfortunately are going to have those ACs running hardcore the next few days across the area. Now this morning we've had a relatively pleasant start. We had a couple of lines of showers and storms roll through. Those have all but dissipated, but thanks to them having moved completely out, we've got some new thunderstorm development that's been taking place. Let me move this a little further this way. There we go. Around Garnett, Mound City, now northwest of Nevada. Nothing strong, nothing severe, nor are we expecting that. But we do have some thunderstorms out there, which is, again, just some much needed rain for some of us. And we head back down here. And again, the only storm that we had or the only showers we had are now pretty much gone down into northeastern Oklahoma. So we had, again, those 2 rounds of storms. The first round did bring some severe weather for Bourbon and Crawford counties this morning. Now we've got this new development. Not expecting anything significant out of it, but keep an eye on it just in case. Well, it'll be out of here before too much longer too, and then we're gonna have to deal with this. We still have excessive heat warnings for southeastern Kansas. That's heat index values to 115 degrees. Heat advisories have replaced some of those other excessive heat warnings. That's still heat index values 105 to 110 degrees out there, so still dangerous heat to contend with. The good news is all of those expire late this evening. they expire. They're not going to be reissued, at least not immediately, because we have a cold front coming through tonight. And I'll tell you about that in the full forecast in just a moment. But as for the rest of today, highs again upper 90s. Thankfully, not nearly as many triple digits out there. In fact, maybe just a couple. Still close. So it's not a noticeable improvement, but at least there's not nearly as many 100-degree readings out there. We have a very refreshing start to the day this morning. We're at 70 in Joplin, 69 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures again this morning, 10, 12 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday morning. And if you noticed before this thing zoomed in, at wind shift line, that's where that cold front is. We're going to talk about that as well. We got upper 60s, low 70s, and some mid 70s out there. So again, still a refreshing start to the day, but it will still get hot. Isolated shower storms still could be possible through about 9 o'clock this morning. Most of us dry, partly cloudy, and again, those highs into the upper 90s. We're going to talk about that cold front, tonight's storm chances, and what kind of relief we'll get from the heat, and how long that will last here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Thanks, Chris. Well, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly visited Independence to help break ground on an expansion and renovation project at the Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center. The $7.9 million expansion will include a new cancer infusion center, rural health clinic, and patient testing labs. It will also provide upgrades to the emergency department, ultrasound services, and add 17 patient exam rooms. Construction is expected to be completed by June 1st of next year. The Crawford County Fair kicked off yesterday in Girard, Kansas. It features tons of events, including animal judging, live music, and Barnyard Olympics. We sent photojournalist Ty Parks to take it all in.
So the judge has a certain thing that they look for, and so we bring in outside judges from outside the county to take a look at the foods that are brought in. They look for things like texture and taste. The judges probably have the best job in the food and food preservation group because they get to taste everything that comes in as far as baked goods, and then they evaluate the canned goods from the preservation side, from the different university guidelines like headspace on a jar and how well it's filled, and if there's any bubbles or if the chunks aren't consistent in the vegetables that they're processing. A lot of people wonder, how do judges tell? You can tell by the type of crust. You can tell by the care that they put into actually making the pie, and definitely you can tell by the taste.
So our main mission is to support the Angels Among Us, which is the nonprofit organization that provides funds for local cancer patients fighting cancer. We help patients afford wigs, we supply gas cards, help with grocery bills. So that's what the Angels Cafe, that is during the week of the fair, supports. Last year we raised a little under $20,000. All our money stays local. Nobody is paid to do this job. It's all 100% volunteers. So all our profits go to support that. And plus, it's really good fried chicken.
The Crawford County Fair runs through Saturday. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll hear all the fun that's in store for this year's annual Baxter Springs Rodeo. Well, the Baxter Springs Saddle Club is excited about this year's rodeo. We have Joey Williams and Jaron Cox, and they're with us this morning to share what all the excitement is about for this year's rodeo. Good morning to you both. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So talk to me a little bit about the rodeo. Now, it's the 56th year, so that's very exciting. Talk to me a little bit about it.
It is our 56th year annual, so it's a big event. Biggest event that we host each year for the community. We're a small town rodeo, but we love to pack out the house and bring the community together. Absolutely.
So talk to me a little bit about some of the events that are going on. It starts tomorrow and is also going to be on Saturday. So what can people expect?
Well, each night, starting at 8 o'clock, will be the events. We'll have all the regular rodeo events and stuff. So we'll have all that. We'll also have mutton busting, boot races for kids, but we'll have your saddle bronc, bull riding, team roping, ladies breakaway, and we also have a guest appearance this year by the the ACRA Miss Rodeo Queen will be there both nights as well.
Oh, wonderful. And is this our rodeo queen that we have
This
here?
is Jaren's our 2023 rodeo queen. She will be crowning our new queen on the Saturday night during the performance, as well as the princess for this
Absolutely.
year.
Are you excited for it, Jaren?
Very excited.
And what has been your favorite thing about being the rodeo queen for the past year?
I'd say my favorite thing about being the rodeo queen is building a relationship with the community and getting to know the locals and all the different rodeo aspects.
Absolutely. Are you excited to crown the next girl?
Very excited.
Wonderful.
Can't wait.
Absolutely. And then do you have any advice for the girls competing for the rodeo queen?
Just to stay confident and really express yourself.
Absolutely. And then where can people come out to attend the rodeo?
We're located just on the east side of Baxter. They're on Highway 166 and just right on the east side of the Spring River Bridge on the south side of the road. You can't miss us. We got all the flags, all the signs, everything, and all the cowboys and cowgirls will be there.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds so exciting. Congratulations again, and good luck to you on crowning. And thank you so much for being with us. Remember, you and your family can enjoy the fun tomorrow night at the Baxter Springs Saddle Club Arena. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We've got a few showers and thunderstorms in our far northern counties. Just doing a quick lightning count there. Not a lot of lightning, but about 8-9 strikes up there with this activity as it continues to slide off to the east. So just north of Mound City, you're probably hearing the thunder. You can probably see the lightning out there. And then we got some showers stretching north of Nevada back connecting to this. This is about the only activity we have left other than a couple of stray showers down by Bull Hollow. And that's really it after 2 lines of showers and storms rolled through this morning. We've had development try and take place behind those lines while they were still ongoing, so they kind of ended up fizzling out. But now that those lines are gone, we've got this activity. It's holding its own as it continues to push off towards the east, heading up into Bates County toward Butler. Then tonight, we have a cold front coming through, and that's going to give us an opportunity for possibility, at least, of a strong storm or two. We do have a low-end risk for some small hail, maybe some gusty winds along and south of I-44, and we could see, at least in some model data, some of these storms develop a little further north than this, but they're going to intensify as they dive south with this cold front. So what does that look like on the future track? Between now and then, it's going to be hot, it's going to be muggy, it's going to be unpleasant across the area. We're looking at temperatures again into the upper 90s and maybe 1 or 2 triple-digit readings, but we're going to see fewer triple-digit readings today. Get pretty close, but not that many. You won't notice the difference though. Here we are at 10. See, the wind's already starting to shift. So we get this cold front sliding through, and then it could trigger thunderstorms right along and south of I-44. Those could intensify pretty quickly, be strong in our area, and then the greater severe threats to our south. But again, some model data suggests we could see initiation maybe just a wee further north than that after midnight tonight. And then again, they'll still dive south rather quickly. Now, once we get on the backside of this front though, we still have a hot day for us tomorrow, but humidity and dew point levels are going to be a bit lower, and we're going to have a gusty north wind. So that's going to help out at least a little bit, and that'll actually even carry into our Saturday as well. So we'll get a couple of days. It'll still again be hot, temperatures into the 90s, but our humidity and dew point levels will drop a little bit for us, which will be a nice little break before we get back to some dangerous heat. Our alert day today is once again for all of this. Now, some good news here at least. All of these set to expire this evening, but we do still have excessive heat warnings for most of southeast Kansas, so that's heat index values to 115 degrees. And for the heat advisories, that's still not much relief. Heat index values 105 to 110 degrees out there. But again, the good news is all these set to expire tonight. Don't forget, we have a number of extreme heat safety tips on our website and some great information on the warning signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke, both of which possible with this kind of heat. So make sure you're taking breaks and staying safe out there. On our camera 7th and range line, you can see some of those clouds off in the distance. In fact, let me step over here and you can see some of the thunderheads from those storms well off to our north out there. We're at 70 in Joplin. Dew point's up at 67, but better than where it has been. We're not in the upper 70s, and our temperatures this morning 10-12 degrees cooler than where they have been the last few mornings. We got upper 60s and low to mid 70s, so a very refreshing start to the day. We'll be partly cloudy, and some of those storms in southeast Kansas could see a few of them continue through maybe 9 o'clock this morning. Otherwise, we're dry, partly cloudy, hot, near 90 by 11 o'clock this morning. And again, that's ahead of highs today, upper 90s approaching 100 with those partly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy through the evening and into the overnight. And then again, at least for some of us, some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, and cool again tonight as we fall back into the upper 60s and low 70s. Now again, still hot tomorrow and Saturday, but humidity dew point levels down a bit, but it's short-lived. We start heading into next week and we see those temperatures take off again back into the triple digits. Our next round of possible relief toward the end of next week with some additional scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
The Bourbon County Community Theater is a new organization, and they have been working hard on their very first production called Holy Mother of Bingo. We have Director Angie Bain and Assistant Director Mark Bergman. They're with us this morning to invite you to the show. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And so opening night is tonight. It's your very first production. Before we get into all of that, can you talk to me a little bit about the Bourbon County Community Theater, just kind of the development behind that?
We began about a year ago based on just a suggestion somebody threw out on Facebook about needing a community theater.
Yes.
And so we got a group of people together who were interested, and we developed a board of directors and bylaws. And so this is our first actual production.
Fantastic. Yes, and opening night is tonight. And talk to me a little bit about this production that you guys have in store for the Fort Scott community.
It's called Holy Mother of Bingo, and it is an immersive murder mystery comedy.
Okay.
So the audience gets to actually play 5 rounds of bingo, and we have prizes that have been donated from community businesses, lots of great prizes, and it's an interactive show, so our audience actually sits at tables, and the whole show kind of takes place around them.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds fantastic and a whole lot of fun. Now, we mentioned that opening night is tonight, but you also have more performances throughout the weekend.
Yes. Mark, do you want to talk about the other performances?
Yeah, we, well, tonight and then also Friday night and Saturday night, we have performances. And we actually had to open up Thursday night because of ticket sales for Friday and Saturday night. So we had to add a night to accommodate the demand.
Well, that's fantastic. Congratulations. And so you said it's almost sold out on Friday and Saturday night, but you still have tickets open for tonight. Where can people go to buy tickets, and how can they come to the show?
They can go to bcct.ludus.com, or they can go to the Fort Scott Chamber of Commerce. We may have some tickets at the door.
Okay.
But I would highly encourage people to buy them in advance.
Absolutely. And then when does the show start and where is it at?
It takes place at 7 o'clock tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night at the Ellis Fine Arts Center at Fort Scott Community College.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. It sounds like a great show. Congratulations on your first production, and go break a leg. And remember that the Holy Mother of Bingo starts tonight at 7 p.m. at the Ellis Fine Arts Center on the campus of Fort Scott Community College. We're back with more news and weather right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:27. I'm Elise Snowy. The wait is finally over for a Missouri man wrongfully held behind bars for 34 years. Christopher Dunn walked out of prison Tuesday, despite efforts by the state attorney general to keep him locked up. A judge overturned Dunn's murder conviction early last month and ordered his immediate release. But the state attorney general appealed to try and keep Dunn behind bars. Dunn's release came after the state Supreme Court ruled the Department of Corrections did not have the right to keep Dunn jailed because he no longer had a conviction on his record. MoDOT invited the public to a meeting concerning needs in the region. The meeting took place yesterday at the Public Safety Training Facility in Joplin. MoDOT asked the public to weigh in on the list of needs from around the state and provide feedback to help establish future funding priorities. MoDOT officials say this is an annual process.
If there's a concern, again, we do this every year, so there's a time every year we're updating priorities, updating our identification of what needs to be done, and so new needs can come onto the list in a subsequent year.
Comments can be submitted through August 23rd using the comment form we provided on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, some kids in Pittsburgh have a big idea for staying cool and helping others. Nana's House played host to a grandkid-operated lemonade stand, and they raked in the bucks. What made the event even sweeter was the kids' decision to donate the money raised to St. Jude's Children's Hospital and some local fundraisers for kids in need.
It sounded fun, and I did it at daycare once, and I thought it was really fun. I just like helping people, and I feel like it makes me a kind person.
According to Nana, also known as Karen Thomas, the kids raised $156 for St. Jude, and they'd gladly take more donations. Now here's Chris with a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we're starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've still got some of these scattered storms up in the northern part of our viewing area. So let me drag this a little further to the east. So again, nothing strong, nothing severe, but some lightning out there. We've had about 8 to 10 lightning strikes with this activity. Continuing to roll off to the east, so I-49 between Nevada, Butler, and we've got shower and thunderstorm activity north of Mountain City out there. That's really about the bulk of what we're seeing now. We had a couple lines of storms push through earlier this morning, and then this is what we're going to be left with, and this could continue for the next, say, hour and a half, and that should be out of our area. We still do have an alert day today for the excessive heat warnings in southeast Kansas. Heat index values to 115 degrees out there. And then we look at the heat advisories, and we can see heat index values of 105 to 110 degrees there. Some of the good news, though, all of these set to expire this evening. We're going to get a little break in the heat. It's a short break, but we'll take it. We're going to take a look at the future track for today, though. We've still got some time before we get to that break. We're going to go upper 90s across the region. Still could see a couple of 100-degree readings, but at least a little good news, we're not looking at nearly as many. Now, some of us, Fredonia, for example, you're going to get pretty darn close to 100. You're not going to be able to tell the difference, but we're not looking at as many triple-digit readings as we've seen the last few days. We had a pretty refreshing start to the day, though. 70 in Joplin, 70 in Pittsburgh. Roads still drying out. And around the region, temperatures about 10, 12 degrees cooler for most of us than where we were 24 hours ago. Still got 68 in Neodesha. The rest of us, though, low to mid 70s to get the day underway. And as we head through the morning, again, could still see a couple of thunderstorms through about 9 o'clock. Most of us dry, partly cloudy, temperatures heating up again into the upper 90s across the area. We have a cold front coming in tonight. Now, unfortunately, it does not mean cold temperatures, but it does mean some drier air. It's going to feel a little better for a couple of days and bring some more storm chances. We'll look at all that in the full forecast, and that's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Marion Days is set to begin today in Carthage, and thousands have already made their way to the city with some setting up tents and camping out. High temps this week could make staying cool and safe difficult. KOAM's Anthony Saviello found out what people are doing to beat the heat.
Tents set up as far as the eye can see for Marion Days in Carthage. Thousands already setting up shop before festivities begin.
So I've been here for about a week, so being able to help set up everything has been nice. See how this whole event unfolds. Obviously there's a lot of work behind it. I'm looking forward to seeing all that come to fruition, see all the people come here and just enjoy the experience here.
However, despite the celebrations, the heat is not letting up.
Colorado is hot, but it's not humid, so it's a whole big shift, you know.
Yeah.
After your showers, you're always feeling really, how do I say it? Just sticky in general, you know. It's horrible.
Most people using hats to fend off the sun's harmful rays. Much of the grounds at the Congregation of the Mother Co-Redemptrix are covered by trees, making shade easily accessible. And with temperatures projected to be in the upper 90s, the shade is essential. Some have also found refuge within the buildings on the campus.
Well, me and my friend John over there, we were just going through the auditoriums, it's just blasting AC in there.
For those who have traveled halfway across the country, the time spent with old friends and creating new ones is worth it.
I think it's great. As a community, the Vietnamese Catholic diaspora, we're very spread out, and the communities that we live in are typically small, but being able to all congregate here and seeing 60,000 of us, we're not alone. There's so many of us here, and it's really beautiful.
Reporting in Carthage, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Marion Days will continue through Sunday. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A relaxing vacation turns stressful when a Texas family's pet goes missing. We'll hear the story of the incredible journey that brought the two back together. In Consumer Watch this morning, some college students may be starting the school year without their financial aid. The Education Department says schools will not be able to send corrections to students' financial aid records in bulk this year. It was previously announced that it would be available by mid-August. The department says colleges can still submit individual corrections. The announcement is one of several setbacks to the new FAFSA form. United and Delta Airlines are pausing flights to Israel over safety concerns as tensions rise in the Middle East. Delta also gave out a waiver for flights to and departing from Israel through August 14th. The waiver lets customers change their plans without having to pay the difference. Both airlines say they are closely monitoring the situation and will resume services when it's deemed safe. Some generations could be at greater risk for cancer. A study published in the Lancet Public Health Journal yesterday shows Generation X and millennials have a higher risk for several cancers than older generations. Researchers say the findings back up previous studies that cancer rates are becoming more common among post-baby boomer generations. Researchers say this study also shows people are being exposed to cancer-causing effects at an earlier age. Well, Summerween is here, and Fox's Kendall Green went to the streets to ask people if they know what the name means.
Like weaning off the summer into the fall. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I would think.
New Yorkers taking their best guess at a new retail term coined Summerween.
Never heard of it. Not in the faintest idea.
Understandably, no luck so far, probably because it's so far out of mind since we're still feeling that summer simmer. The term Summerween, what comes to mind?
I don't understand the word, I'm sorry. Summerween?
Summerween.
Like Halloween.
Getting warmer, but the term is related to a retail rollout of Halloween products, already hitting shelves, marking an extra early arrival of Halloween inventory months ahead of the holiday.
We're not ready to talk about fall yet. It's too hot for that.
Oh, no, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't sell out that fast either.
The preseason trend includes Halloween decorations and candy in stores, since the holiday raked in $6.4 billion in candy alone last year. So you think August is okay?
No, but the kids' costumes and everything sell out.
But so far, there's no mention of costume sales, which may be for the best.
It's a little early for me. I'm not a huge Halloween person, but I do get it.
Again, though, it's July. Retail expert Trey Bodge.
It's funny to see retailers kind of beat each other to the punch to put things out there and get consumer shopping. You know, the thing about Halloween is that people who participate in Halloween decorating their lawns and homes, they are very serious about it.
And stores getting serious about the trend include Marshall's, Michael's, Five Below, Costco, and Target. Perhaps the retail giant standing taller in the trend than others, Home Depot, marketing 12-foot skeletons back in April. To sum it all up,
capitalism is great.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 now on this Thursday, August the 1st, and we've still got some scattered thunderstorms, isolated storms really up in the northern part of our viewing area. So I-49 between Nevada and Butler still dealing with some heavy rain. So if you are traveling this morning, be aware of some very heavy rainfall out there. And this also a little cell right here over 69 just to the north of Mound City and into the Lincoln area. So just keep in mind that we do still have some heavy rain, some heavier thunder showers out there. Nothing major or significant. We are still seeing a few spotty showers back behind this. That's why we have that possibility of still seeing a couple of isolated showers or storms this morning, but not expecting to see much more than what's going on right now, at least not until later tonight. And we do have a low risk for some strong to low-grade severe storms, some small hail, and perhaps some gusty winds, mainly along and south of I-44. So we're going to talk about that on the future track here as we move into the afternoon and evening. Now today, it's still an alert day. We still have dangerous heat across the area and dangerous heat index values. But as we head later into this evening, we are going to see a cold front start to push through. Now we'll start to see that front roll through before we actually see thunderstorm development. So by 10, winds are now already out of the north, and you can see where they start to spread out. And that's right where that frontal boundary is. And that front could trigger some rather rapid development of thunderstorms along and south of I-44 and the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. Those storms could intensify pretty quickly and be strong to low-grade severe, but they're also going to move pretty quickly to the south. And we'll keep an eye on them because we do see, at least on some model day, the possibility storms might develop a little further north than that point. Not much further north, but a little. But some of the good news is we don't need severe weather. We need rain, but the greater severe threat at this point expected to remain to our south. And these storms exit pretty quickly. Now, here's what's going to happen. We're still going to be hot Friday and Saturday, but take a look at these gusty north winds out there now by noon on Friday. Because of that cold front, while it doesn't have a major impact on our temperatures, it is going to dry the air out a little bit. So we're going to have lower humidity levels, lower dew point levels between Friday and at least into most of Saturday. So even though it's still going to be into the 90s Friday and Saturday, the air will be drier and we'll have that northerly breeze, which will certainly make it feel a little better out there. Still hot, but a little bit better. Unfortunately, that relief is short-lived. Now, some other good news, at least for now, all of these are set to expire this evening, both the excessive heat warnings and the heat advisories. For those excessive heat warnings, again, it's heat index values to 115 degrees. And for the heat advisories, we're talking heat index values still from 105 to 110. So still a dangerously hot day, hence our alert day. Don't forget a number of extreme heat safety tips on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And of course, with this heat, you've got to keep in mind the possibility of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And we have a graphic on our site too explaining the warning signs and symptoms of those. Quick look outside. Some clouds from our camera at 7th and range line sitting at 70, dew point at 67. So it's again a little better that humidity's up there, but otherwise a relatively refreshing start to the day as temperatures for most of us 10-12 degrees below where we were yesterday morning. We're sitting in the low to mid 70s, starting to see some upper 70s down to the south where you really didn't get much in the way of rainfall at all. Again, some of those isolated storms in our northern counties could continue through 8-9 o'clock, and then we'll be partly cloudy and hot, upper 80s by late morning out there. Most of us though will be dry through the morning. Get those storms tonight, highs today upper 90s. Then we'll go into the upper 60s, low 70s tonight. Again, low mid 90s Friday and Saturday, but the air a bit drier, so a little more manageable. But again, that unfortunately is short-lived as we see the heat return back into the lower 100s next week. Our next best shot of relief is toward the end of next week with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, a Texas family was on vacation when their dog took off, escaping into the Colorado wilderness. The beloved pet went missing for 2 weeks, and the family began to lose hope.
That is until they got a phone call from someone who trapped their dog alive and well. Garrett Stringfellow shows us the happy reunion.
This is the Wagner family, and this is their dog Pippin. This picture taken just hours before he disappeared.
I didn't have signal until we got back from whitewater rafting, and the dog sitter came out with an empty harness. And I said, "Where is Pippin?" And he said, "He's bolted that way." And my sons and I said, "We will find him," and just took off running.
It was supposed to just be a 4-day trip, but those plans changed.
Everything in our life just got put on hold.
Little signs here and there, like catching him on a trail cam or paw prints in the sand.
One time, actually, Pippin came running down this dirt path and almost ran right into William.
Just devastating. I almost ran after him, but no.
But after 6 days of hope, they went 4 days without any sign of Pippin.
So on day 10, we made the very, very painful decision to leave and to come home without him.
Hope was waning until a few days later when Morgan's phone rang.
I saw you pick up the phone and run outside and start bawling. I didn't really know what was happening.
The voice on the other end? A new friend from Colorado with Pippin in a trap. And the next day, they were reunited.
His tail started wagging and he went crazy.
Absolute crazy. Lots of tears. He was doing the happy whimper, and a solid 5 minutes of just pure joy.
A family, separated by hundreds of miles and mountains, is whole once again.
Well, certainly great to see that dog returned home. I'm sure it must have been very scary. I know when my pets have gone missing, it feels like the end of the world, so I can't even imagine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks of not being able to find him, absolutely. Yeah. Thankfully, though, he made it home safe. Well, we still have a few isolated showers and storms out there this morning. We're going to start up north here, where we've got some of that development. Again, I-49 between Nevada and Butler, and then 69 around the Lincoln area, north of Mound City and Fort Scott there. We still have a few showers trying to develop back behind this, so we could still continue to see a couple of isolated showers or storms. Most of this activity will be confined in the northern counties through the morning, and then by about 9 o'clock, that'll be done. Then tonight, cold front comes in. Doesn't knock our temperatures down significantly, but it will dry the air out and bring the opportunity for some strong storms, mainly along and south of I-44. So today, still an alert day, still dangerously hot across the area. I want to show you that cold front. Now, it starts to roll through a little before the storms develop. You see those winds shift out of the north. Storms expected to develop pretty quickly, and they may develop a little further north than this, but they'll also roll out of our area very quickly. And we also want to take a moment to remind you, still have excessive heat warnings, heat index values to 115, and in the heat advisories, we've got heat index values 105 to 110 degrees. But the good news is all of these set to expire later this evening. We'll have another look at your forecast. News you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Christopher Dunn, who was wrongfully held for 34 years, was able to walk out of prison on Tuesday. A judge overturned Dunn's murder conviction earlier last month and ordered his immediate release. The state attorney general appealed to try and keep Dunn behind bars. Dunn's release came after the state Supreme Court ruled the Department of Corrections did not have the right to keep Dunn jailed because he no longer had a conviction on his record. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly visited Independence yesterday to help break ground on an expansion and a renovation project at the Labette Health Independence Healthcare Center. The $7.9 million expansion will include a new cancer infusion center, rural health clinic, and patient testing labs. It will also provide upgrades to the emergency department, ultrasound services, and add 17 patient exam rooms. High temperatures can overwork air conditioning units, causing them to fail. This can leave households in an uncomfortable situation. One way to keep your AC unit is to keep the filters clean and changing them when needed. It's also important to keep up with AC maintenance because if damage becomes severe, repair costs can go up.
And that AC not getting much of a break today. We have another alert day today. Highs upper 90s, heat index values anywhere from 105 to 115 degrees. We'll have partly cloudy skies into the afternoon. Cold front comes in after late tonight, and then after midnight could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms along and south of I-44, and some of those could be strong, low-grade severe. Hail and wind the primary threats. Cooler this evening though, upper 60s, low 70s. Even though we're hot tomorrow and Saturday, the cold front does dry out the air a bit, so a little less humid out there. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't last long. The heat returns. We go back into the triple digits next week, maybe some storms by the end of next week.
Not a lot of fun.
Not at all.
Alrighty. Well, the Paris Olympics are in full swing. There's been plenty of excitement going around, and some fans cannot contain their excitement.
Very excited to see her that
I can
close.
Imagine.
I absolutely get it. You know, you see one of your heroes face to face with you there. got to be incredible.
Ledecky's a beast, so.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.